The Man Who Collected Maps by Uday Kumar. Vinod lived in a house made up of books. They were stacked on shelves, piled on chairs, and formed a canyon on his floor. Each spine promised a secret path to success, a map to a treasure he could not find. He had studied at the best schools and could recite the wisdom of gurus like poetry, yet his own life felt like an empty page. He became a cartographer of other people's journeys. In cafes and parks, he would passionately explain the mantras he had learned. Visualize the peak, embrace the climb, he declared, his voice full of borrowed confidence. But when he went home, the silence would remind him that he was only a guide, never a traveler. One day, drawn by a quiet he craved, he found himself in a sun drenched yoga studio. There he met the master, Uday Kumar, a man whose presence felt more profound than any book. The dam of Vinod's frustration broke, and he poured out the story of his well read, unsuccessful life. I have all the maps, Vinod said, his voice cracking. I know every route, every landmark, every shortcut to treasure. So why am still standing at the start? Uday Kumar smiled, a slow kind unfolding. Because you have fallen in love with the maps, he said softly. You have enjoyed the thrill of knowing, the temporary pleasure of seeing the path on paper. It is a sweet thing, but it is not the journey. A true traveler, Uday continued, does not constantly check his map. He feels the earth beneath his feet. He walks when he is tired. He walks when he is inspired to achieve. You must simply do the work day after day without emotion. The work is destination. The words settle into Vinod's soul. He thought of the people who simply did things without fanfare or theory. The practical ones, the persistent ones, they were not reading about life, they were writing in their actions. A quite profound realization washed him over him. Back home, Vinod did not throw his books away. He packed them carefully into a trunk, like treasured souvenirs from a place he no longer lived. The next morning, instead of opening a book on sales, he picked up the phone and made a call. His heart profounded, but his voice was his own. The path of action was not glamorous. It was filled with awkward conversations, small failures, and long, quiet afternoons of work. Some days the silence screamed for the comfort of a book. On those days, he took a deep breath and simply did the next small thing. Success did not arrive like a thunderclap. It seeped in slowly, like rain into dry earth. It was a written phone call, a completed task, a small, hard on contract. The mantras sometimes helped, like a familiar song on a long road. But Vinod finally knew the truth. The map is not the territory, and the only forward is to walk.